Hi, Michelle Glass here. I ended our last presentation saying, oh, we're done with chapter 13. I closed the computer and then I thought, no, we really need to go through a specific example for reflex. So that's what we're doing here. We are going to use the Patella Reflex as our example. This is a stretch reflex. This is the most simplistic type. It is monosynaptic, so that means a sensory neuron is synapsing directly onto a motor neuron. So it's that simple reflex arc. I also decided to do this as a set of steps instead of drawing a picture. So if you are more visual and want some artwork, you can take a look in your textbook. Okay, so let us start. This patellar reflex is also nice because, you know, every single kid's doctor set comes with one of those rubber mallets so that you can tap underneath the patella of the knee, tapping on that patellar tendon to elicit this reflex. So not only is it monosynaptic, but it's also innate, so it is one that can be tested easily in the doctor's office. So when you tap that patellar tendon with the rubber mallet, that would be our stimulus. And what that's doing is causing the quadriceps femoris muscle, which is one of our muscles on the anterior side of the thigh, so that group of muscles, is going to stretch. And when the quadriceps femoris muscle stretches, that's going to stimulate a stretch receptor. The stretch receptor then synapses onto our sensory neuron, which is going to travel toward the spinal cord via the anterior ramus. Because this information is being collected from the leg, from our limb, we know that information is traveling the anterior ramus. So we are here putting together information that we've learned previously with our reflex steps. Okay, from there, that sensory neuron is going to enter the spinal cord via the posterior root, coming into that posterior gray horn, but it doesn't synapse there. Instead, it continues to synapse directly onto the motor neuron. The motor neuron, remember, is housed in the anterior gray horn, which is going to contain the somatic motor nuclei. From here, the motor neuron is going to exit via the anterior root, travel the anterior ramus until it synapses onto the quadriceps femoris muscle, which is our effector, causing it to contract. So again, the thing that I've tried to do here is take our reflex arc and then also combine the information that we learned previously about the organization of both our nerves and our spinal cord. There are other really interesting reflexes described for us in our textbook. They're a little bit more complicated, and I'm just going to ask you to refer to that information directly in your textbook. So you want to look at both the withdrawal reflex and the crossed extensor reflex. And now we are done with chapter 13.